moment when it's going to go live. And I certainly wouldn't want to start and let anybody feel like they are left behind. So I'm just watching for YouTube to come up. If you're watching this and you're here live, I'm just kind of narrating what I'm doing. But here we are. All right. So I had a topic that I wanted to talk about today. And oh, I noticed, look at this. I totally screwed up the title of this. I'll have to fix that later. I forgot to get rid of the Friday group Q&A, and I just pasted in the title right away. Just I already screwed it up, but that's okay. We'll still go forward with it, even with the screw up, and I'll just go back and fix it later. I hope nobody gets confused when they see this. So welcome aboard, everybody. It's Chris. You're watching a simulcast of the Friday group Q&A that I do with my mastermind, and sometimes we come here live on YouTube and share some cool stuff with you. And that's my intent for today. Actually, I have something that I'm really excited to share with you today, and I don't want to waste any time. So, like I already have, right? So I'm going to share my screen, and I just took some notes for you and for them. And the topic that we're talking about is why most founders fail at LinkedIn client generation. And it's really important that we talk about client generation because I think a lot of people go into social media and they hire people to do this for them, and they hire people to do lead generation, and that's cute to get leads. I'm more interested in getting clients, and the smart people that are in my masterminds feel the same way. We're here to get clients. Getting leads is one thing, and then as we'll talk about today, getting likes and shares and comments, that's an entirely different thing. If you want that stuff, if feeling like, you know what, I'll tell you a story. I've got a private client right now who's in the mastermind, but it also works with me as a private client, hired a lead generation service and spending a not small amount of money per month to get only a handful of leads. And every single one of those leads comes in and ghosts. They get ghosted. So there's a real problem with lead generation in that especially when you hire someone to do it, you're it's kind of a big guess, kind of a big guess. And after a little bit of investigation, you'll find out that a lot of these lead gen services also have services that provide fake leads. And so you're paying one organization to send you fake leads from another organization, and you end up wasting a ton of time. And then, as I see happen to many people, I'm getting so off topic right now, as I see happen to so many people, sunk cost fallacy starts to come in. And you start to feel like, well, I've been paying for this and I'm getting leads, but they're all ghosting me, or they won't introduce me to any kind of a decision maker, or they get on the call and say, I really don't want this, but I'm paying for those calls. And I've been paying for it for so long that I'm just going to keep doing it. That's sunk cost fallacy. You won't take a moment to step back and breathe and say, this is messed up. By the way, you guys who have been around a while, you know that sometimes I edit myself with my mute button, but I've upgraded the way my microphone works, and now I don't have that mute button functional anymore. So I got to really watch the language. So a mental note more to myself than anything else. So I'm more interested in client generation. You go ahead and do as much lead generation as you want if that makes you feel good. But the smart, successful people that are here on this Zoom and my private clients, we want clients. That's what we want. So I want to talk to you today about why most founders and entrepreneurs and business people fail at getting clients from LinkedIn. And I'll show you some mistakes to avoid. So here's what we're going to cover in this talk today. Most people, most founders use LinkedIn backwards. They're going for likes and comments, but they're getting zero clients from it. And I see this happen thousands of times. I spend time every day on LinkedIn, and you can see it. You just see it, and it so sticks out to me, and it's so annoying. So I find these top three mistakes that I'll share with you today, and I'll give you some guidance on each of those. My mission for you for today is that I want you to see what isn't working for you on LinkedIn, and I want you to have a strategy for how to fix it. And by the way, I've got this really cool thing going on right now. If you feel like you want to spend more time than just we have in this video, which just has generic advice for a large group of people. If you want to spend more time with me, I've got this cool link that you can go to. I'll type it in. It's getclientsclass.com. Let's see if I can get that. Let's see if I can type that in right. If you go to that, if you go to getclientsclass.com, that's going to unlock 7 days. Like you can work with me for 7 days for free. I'll type that into the chat as well. You get to come in to the Six Figure Success Society Mastermind, and you get to work with these cool people who are here on the Zoom right now, and we get to see each other a bunch of times for 7 days. No credit card required, no nothing like that. Just come on in for 7 days and hang out. Why? Why on earth would you do that? Well, you do that because I find that the best way to demonstrate I can help you is by actually helping you. So that's why if you go to getclientsclass.com, right there, I just popped that link in. I hope that link works. You know what? I'll just test it right now. Oh yeah, it worked. There you go. Come on in, no credit card required. Get to work together for 7 days for free. I'm going to really get you into ship shape. Of course, I've seen ships sink, so maybe we'll do something better than ship shape. I'll just get you into shape. Good shape. I'll get you into good shape because there's also bad shapes. It's like when somebody says, hey, this is going to change your life. What if it changed your life for the worse? All right, so go to getclientsclass.com. I think I've said it way too many times. Most people think LinkedIn is pure social media. It's not. LinkedIn should be seen as a way to generate clients. But here's what you're up against. Here's the big problem that you're up against. Right now, 52% of content that appears on LinkedIn is AI automated generated. Okay, so it's just generated and shoved onto LinkedIn. There's no human behind it. So you're kind of screwed there because half of the content that you're competing against is AI generated. And you know what that nonsense looks like. There's a reason it's called AI slop. And there's a reason that you can look in the comments of the AI slop and see many people just saying, I hate AI content, more AI slop, more AI trash. I keep track of this stuff. So right away, half of the content that you're competing against is AI slop. So you've instantly reduced your effectiveness by half because it's so watered down with the clankers. All right. I listen, I might sound like a teenager when I say that. If you don't know what a clanker is, go find somebody who's like 12 years old and say, I heard the word clanker today. Is that good or bad? Do I want to be one or not? So if you're out there with all the you don't, by the way. If you're out there with all the clankers, now you got to compete against those people. Problem number one. Problem number two, worse problem, 83, 80, let's just say 80. Let's be conservative. 80% of comments on LinkedIn are AI generated. So for the people who are on LinkedIn for likes, comments, and shares, because that feeds the lowest level of their brain with the dopamine. If that's all you care about, well, just know that 80% of those things that are feeding your dopamine-starved brain, 80% of those come from robots. It's not real people that like you. It's robots that are pretending to like you. That's a weird life that you live if you're thirsty for being liked by robots. I wouldn't even know how to converse with you at a cocktail party if I ever went to a cocktail party. I would like you like robots. You get dopamine from robots. You ever think growing up that we'd ever be saying phrases like that? And here we are. So 80% of comments on LinkedIn, 80% of likes, 80% of shares, that's all coming from robots. So if you're on LinkedIn because you have a deficit in your mind that you're not good enough and you need people going, oh my God, oh, just know that 80% of the O's are robots. All right. So you can't put that in the bank, by the way. Even the robot stuff, you can't put likes, comments, and shares in the bank. So I don't care about that stuff at all. You know what I care about? I care about getting clients and changing their lives for the better and helping them to build their businesses and ultimately getting paid beautifully to do so. That's what I care about. You might not care about that. This video isn't for you. So problem number one, your profile isn't standing out. And this is the first place that I always look when I start to work with someone. Your profile just looks like everybody else's. You've got either a generic headline that starts with I help, that old I help blank to blank. That time has passed. You can move on to something else. Or your headline is just your title at your job. We can move on from that as well. You're looking generic. You're blending in with everybody. Your summary is boring. There's no social proof in it. You're using stock photos or worse, absolute crap AI generated photos, the crap ones, not the good ones. There are some good ones out there. And LinkedIn can't tell at all who you are and who you serve. So you vanish into the chaos. You vanish into the sea of robots and the sea of robotic comments because you didn't take the time to figure out how to stand out. So your headline shouldn't be your title. Your headline should talk about the immediate pain that your clients have and how you can fix that pain. This is a lot of people say, oh, your LinkedIn profile is a resume. Not for founders and business owners. I mean, maybe if you're going to focus on getting likes, comments, and shares, and that's all you care about, you might as well make it a resume and then go see my buddy Eileen Ryan, and she'll help you get a job and turn your LinkedIn into a resume. But for me, it's a sales page. I want to make sales. I want people to serve. All right, your photo should look like, and hey, look, who knows if mine does, but it should look like somebody they want to work with. Okay, it's not about being pretty, thank God. It's about being profitable. And it's not, listen, I'll talk about it during the content. Remind me during the content to tell you what it's not about. All right. So mistake number one, you got to get your profile to stand out, because what's going to happen is people are going to see you on the platform, and then they're going to go to your profile to figure out who you are and what you do. So if they go to a generic, bland profile that doesn't speak to a pain point that they want to solve immediately, that they understand that there's a solution, that the solution will work from them, and that you can bring them that solution, if your profile doesn't do that, you're going to make zero sales. You're wasting your time on LinkedIn. You might as well do something else. I know that might sound a little strong, but it's true. Why are you wasting your time if you're not going to use the platform to actually build your business? Maybe you just like social media, and that's not for me to judge. This video isn't for you. My service isn't for you. LinkedIn is a way to generate clients. Okay. It's not a way to go and talk about your struggle bus. LinkedIn's not the place to go talk about your struggle bus. You know where is? Nowhere. Why? No one cares. No one woke up this morning going, oh, I can't wait to get on LinkedIn and find out who struggled throughout their life and the 3 BS lessons that they learned from it that are just repackaged lessons from everybody else. They don't care about that. What they care about, oh boy, take a breath. What they care about is there a solution to the problem that they woke up trying to solve? Is that solution going to work for them? And can you bring them that solution? That's what they care about. Think about yourself right now, and we're so off topic. Think about yourself right now. How many times today have you thought about a problem, big or small, and you need to find a solution to that problem? I have a schedule conflict coming up on Tuesday of next week. I have to solve that problem. I have to figure out how I can resolve this schedule conflict so that I can do 2 very important things. That's a very small example. I have an email campaign that I'm launching on Monday. That's a very big thing that's happening for me. It's not a problem, but it's a condition that I need to solve. Think about yourself as you've gone through your life today. You're pretty much just going through a cycle of, okay, I've got a problem, I got to solve it. I got a problem, I got to solve it. I got a problem, I got to find a solution for it. You're not walking around your day going, I wish I could learn about how somebody lived in the back seat of a car for 6 months at one point in their life, and the 3 lessons that everybody already knows came from it. And I know that sounds harsh, and I don't care, because at some point you've got to grow up and realize that if you're going to scale a business to a point where you can do some real damage, you've got to break free of that other stuff. Okay, you got to break free of that other stuff. Look at the most successful people around. Look at the most successful people. You don't see Jeff Bezos hopping onto his LinkedIn. You don't see it. That's why it's so very, very hard to identify this stuff, because the people at the top, the 5%, they don't do it. That's why it's so easy to see the other stuff, because the 95%, they do it. And you, not you, I hope not you, definitely not you, feel attracted to being in the group because your limbic system wants to keep the tribe alive. And so you see what everybody else is doing and you're instantly magnetized to it. And that's all because of your limbic system. And then you get the dopamine hit, which hits your basal ganglia, and suddenly you're in the death spiral of LinkedIn. And then you come to me and you go, oh, LinkedIn doesn't work. Oh, okay. Go fix your profile. Mistake number two, you're connecting with everybody. If you consider yourself, if you just go and I hear this, people come to me and when I explain this to them, they're just like, I can't even believe I'm doing this so wrong. Many people think that you need more connections to get more business, but the opposite is true. You need the right connections. You need optimized connections to get more business. LinkedIn has something called your professional profile of record. And this is you read the LinkedIn engineering blog, read all of the articles that from people like Dan Roth, editor in chief of LinkedIn. Read what they have to say about it. They talk about your professional profile of record. This is what LinkedIn sees and knows about you. It's not your profile, friends. It's everything about you. It's every person you connect with. It's every post you make, every comment you make, every private message. Haha, they can read your private messages too. It's every video you release, every picture that you publish. Everything that you put on LinkedIn goes into your professional profile of record. So LinkedIn has thousands of data points about you. LinkedIn uses that professional profile of record to decide to whom to show your profile and your content. So if you connect with everybody, all your high school friends, the people that you worked with 25 years ago, the people that every single person you met everywhere in every networking meeting, if you connect with the butcher and the baker and the dog walker, I know, if you connect with all of those people, LinkedIn looks at this and goes, I don't know. I don't know who their optimized audience is. Is it butchers? Is it bakers? I have no idea. By connecting with everyone, you are putting the biggest roadblock to your success on LinkedIn right in front of you, right before your eyes. You're doing it to yourself. Isn't that funny? You're stifling your own success, and you don't even know you're doing it. There's another reason. When you create content on LinkedIn, LinkedIn has to figure out who to put that content in front of. Because LinkedIn wants to provide content for people that they find valuable so they stay on the platform. LinkedIn's screwed. LinkedIn is absolutely screwed because they're looking down the barrel of TikTok, where people spend 98 minutes on TikTok, Facebook, 71 minutes, where they spend on Facebook, Instagram, about the same. And then you come over to LinkedIn. You know how long people spend on LinkedIn? About 7.5 or 8 minutes. So LinkedIn is like terrified because they can't keep you on. They can't keep you on the platform. That's why you're starting to see Instagram like Reels on LinkedIn. I, we'll save that for another Friday. So LinkedIn wants to show your content to people who are going to read it, consume it, and stay on the platform. If your content is geared towards a certain person, like my content is geared towards founders, executive directors, entrepreneurs, business owners, pretty much the four people that I create content for on LinkedIn. So if I'm connected with bicyclists, philanthropists, if I'm connected with other people that are not my perfect, if I'm connected with W-2 employees, if I'm connected with everybody that I used to work with that now still works there or works somewhere else, and I create content, LinkedIn's going to go, oh, let's show this to a bunch of W-2 workers. I mean, no offense by that. That's just how I refer to people that have like normal jobs, regular jobs. Let's just show it to them. Well, they're not going to resonate with it because I'm talking about building businesses. They're watching the clock for 4:30 on Friday so they can go home and not think about the job until Sunday afternoon and get depressed. And my content doesn't speak to them. So what's going to happen if I connected with them? LinkedIn puts my content in front of them and they don't care. They scroll right past it. And LinkedIn goes, well, that content sucked. So don't show it to anybody else. Now think about the other situation where you connect with the exact right people. You connect with only the people that are your perfect clients. Now you create content. LinkedIn has to show it to somebody, so it's going to show it to your connections, and they resonate with it. And now LinkedIn goes, oh, check it out. They like that content. Let's show it to more people like this. And now your presence spreads. And if you've done a good job with your content and you're moving people from LinkedIn, a system you don't control, don't fool yourself, to a system you do control, now you can market to these people. Now you can turn these people into clients. That's client generation. The other thing is just feel a bunch of feel goodery. So you've really got to focus on optimizing who you're connected with because that informs LinkedIn who your audience is. If you just connect with randos, today's your day to stop. Only connect with your ideal clients. Number three that most people make is their content. Their content gets likes, but no clients. You've got to grow up and realize that chasing the likes and chasing the comments instead of the conversions is going to be the death of your business. And I see people all the time. They celebrate the likes, but they have no plan to turn that into money, to turn that into cash in the bank. So I've got one private client so very, very good at this. When they have a piece of content that just goes wild and gets lots of engagement, immediately goes to work at communicating with all of the engagers, sending personal private messages, connecting with the right ones. They're using all of that visibility to drive people to conversations, ultimately to drive them off of LinkedIn to a system that they control where they can market to them within that system. That's a great way to do it. Don't celebrate the likes without taking the step to move those people to a place where you can market to them. More engagement does not mean more business unless you take the time to do something with the engagement. So think about your content. Create content that actually helps people. Target your ideal clients with that content, but always make sure you include some sort of clear next step. You want an example? Here's an example, especially for you folks who are watching this on YouTube. An example would be, I can sit here and tell you to do all of these things. I can teach you every little detail. The problem is, and this is not in you as an individual, this is humans have this problem. You can collect all the information in the world, but unless you implement it, it's not going to do anything for you. It's just a collection of information in your head. The problem is, you like collecting information. It feels good to learn things. It doesn't feel good to implement them until you get the positive results. Because implementing is hard. It requires troubleshooting. You might make a mistake. You might fail. You might have to try again. All of that is hard to do. There's a gap between learning and executing. You can be a learner or you could be an earner. I'm a poet and I didn't even realize that fact. You could just continue to learn or you could take what you learn and turn it into earning. But you have to bridge the data, the information collection and the information execution. Well, that's where I come in. My job is to make sure you're doing the work. And I do it in a collaborative environment. It's called the Six Figure Success Society. It's pretty awesome. It's a bunch of people just like you who are sharing their success so that you can shortcut your way there. It's actually pretty easy to get into. And anybody watching this, if you want to give it a try for 7 days, I'll pop a link into the chat. It's getclientsclass.com. Clients is plural. Just go to getclientsclass.com and no credit card or anything required. Just come on in, work with us for 7 days and meet with us a bunch of times. We'll get you squared away. Definitely get you squared away. It's a lot of fun. So that's how you work in and offer into your content. Your big picture is this. I mentioned your professional profile of record. It's the most important thing that you could focus on. Optimize your profile so that it demonstrates to LinkedIn and to everyone exactly what you do and who you serve. Demonstrate, write this down, demonstrate that there's a solution to the burning problem that people have. The solution will work for them and that you can deliver that solution. Create content that does the same thing and only connect. Only I just cheered my microphone. It's like I toasted my microphone. Only connect with your perfect clients. Stop being the LinkedIn open networker. That went out with powdered wigs. We don't use that anymore. Optimize your professional profile of record. If you want guidance in doing so, when you come into the 7-day free trial, I'll make sure I include that link in the comments as well. When you come into the 7-day free trial, I've got the Limitless LinkedIn Leads Machine, which is a amazing methodology that I'll teach you. You get access to that as well. It's not about being popular. It's about filling the bank account and filling your business with clients that you can serve. Audit your profile today. Clean up your connections. Fix your content strategy. That strategy is going to pay off in ways I can't even describe to you. It'll fix everything for you if you can do that. And if you struggle with actually doing the work and you want someone to help you for 7 days for free, just go to getclientsclass.com. Sign up, come on in, hang out with us for 7 days. We'll get you all squared away.